Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with the miserable liberal and Ron Placone.
I'm miserable.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy. I got to get rid of that flying hair. So there was a poisoning. I've heard people be upset with Vladimir Putin for a lot of reasons. There's two things you need to remember. I like to tell people about Vladimir Putin that they never hear in mainstream news. One thing is that the Russian military spends $45 billion a year on their military. Russia spends $45 billion. We spend $700. We just decided to spend $80 billion extra every year because Trump needs it. That's almost double what they're spending total on their military, what we're spending extra for the next couple of years, just so you know. Number two, Russia's economy, smaller than Spain's. Okay, so just keep all that in mind. Okay. And now they're saying that, remember when they said that that Russia did a gas attack they said it twice happened in Syria. They did gas attacks twice in Syria. The first one got debunked as a false flag. That stuff came through Turkey. The second one, I remember watching the Young Turks, and I remember watching Cenk Uygur debunk it. I remember watching Cenk Uygur go, wait a minute, Assad is winning. Why would he be doing this? This doesn't make any sense. He's winning and he's going to use gas on his own. That doesn't make... And of course, it was also false flag. So just keep that in mind. And now they've got more stuff to show you how bad Putin is. By the way, the United States is doing siege warfare in Yemen right now, creating a genocide. Unbelievable. So anyway, back here... Here's the NBC News report about the latest. There's been a poisoning in the UK of a former Russian spy, right? That's who that guy was. Mm-hmm. And so here it is.
Sergei Skripal, a former Russian spy, was poisoned with military nerve agent. He and his daughter seriously ill.
It is highly likely that Russia was responsible.
British Prime Minister Theresa May giving Russia a deadline midnight tonight for answers. President Trump backing Britain, threatening consequences.
It sounds to me like it would be Russia based on all of the evidence they have.
Russia's foreign minister says that's garbage. It won't heed any deadline and wants samples of the nerve agent used. The crisis deepening. Britain ready to expel Russian diplomats and to impose new sanctions. Bill Neely, NBC News, London.
Okay, so there you go. Putin decided to poison a spy, do it in a way that totally points the finger at himself, because they're saying they used a nerve agent that was developed by the Russians, and they use it. That's what they've been saying, and so. What Russia has said is, show us. You saw the Russian ambassador say, well, show us the proof. You have to send us we'll analyze the nerve gas that you say came from us. We'll talk. And so you saw the report, and you see how everyone's reporting this, and everybody's going along with this is Saddam's a bad guy. Remember how they said Saddam's a bad guy? He takes babies out of cribs and they throw them on the floor. Remember that? That's Saddam's a bad guy. That's what's happening again. So they keep saying, look, he kills people, and he kills people. Barack Obama had to kill them. So I'm not doing people go, oh, why are you defending Putin? I'm not defending Putin. I'm trying to cut through propaganda by the intelligence communities and our governments. So we can make clear-headed decisions. So when I heard about this, it's definitely the Russians. They know already, before an investigation, they know already. Already. I don't know. I remember last time that happened, we went into Iraq. And then here's a guy named Tom Slaughter, who I don't know, from Twitter. I saw this, and I'm like, that's exactly what I was thinking. He says, this Putin guy is really something. At the height of an anti-Russian hysteria in the West, and right before both the Russian election and the World Cup, he decides the time is right to execute a spy living openly in the UK since 2010 using a Russian nerve agent. I don't know. You tell me. So now everywhere you're going to see it reported as definitely Putin did it. Even Trump is saying that today. And, well, I'll just throw it over to the panel before we get into some of the Twitter people reacting to this on Twitter. To me, it doesn't pass the smell test that they would do this. And this is not me. So this is everybody ramping up again. Please don't look at the establishment. Please don't look at why we got Trump. Please don't look at why we got why Brexit happened. Please don't look. Just keep focused on Russia. Russia's the cause of all our problems. So I'll throw it over to our panel.
Well, I just have two things. The idea that the spy is living openly in the UK and that they've decided after which that he's been poisoning his daughter too,
right,
that it's appropriate now to throw out the diplomats from Russia makes no sense to me.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I know.
And then what a perfect tool to use to frame Putin.
Yeah.
Well, none of that. You're talking about clear-headed decisions. And another thing that's happening now because of this is they want to ban RT in the UK now. They want to kick out that bureau in the UK, which even if this is, and yeah, we're shooting first and asking later, first of all, but second of all, what does a media outlet have to do with this? Why would you then kick out a bureau? Like, it makes absolutely zero sense. I mean, it doesn't, were all the panelists accounted for when this happened? Like, are you kidding me?
So when England supports siege warfare, which is a war crime in Yemen, do we then ban the BBC in the United States?
Yes.
So when the UK bombs a hospital or something, if they do that, do we then ban the BBC in the United States? So that's what they're doing.
Yep.
So this is, and I just want to remind people because what they're doing is this is propaganda to get you to go along with anything they say about Russia or any ramping up of military. We're not questioning the $80 billion extra a year we're spending on the military or the expanded spying powers for Trump. They're not talking about any of that. And I'm showing you this to remind you. So what this is propaganda to get everybody hating on Russia and Putin. And just like the propaganda was to get everybody hating on Iraq and hating on Saddam Hussein. And so I just want to remind you that we have a torture program in the United States that was started at the top of government, carried out by our intelligence community. And the people who wrote it up and made it legal get rewarded with jobs at where's he at the Korea Professor Yu is the Emanuel Heller Professor of Law and Director of the Korea Law Center, the California Constitution Center, and the Law School's program. So there you go, at Berkeley Law. There it says. So look at him. He got really punished for going along with the torture program. So I just want to let you know, people go, oh, Putin's horrible. He kills people. We have a torture program. And by the way, we never prosecuted anybody, never even had a hearing. Barack Obama took that torture program, closed it up. Nobody could ever see it. So we can never learn from it again. And now our new CIA director is a torturer. Okay, so I just want to let you know about that. That doesn't pass the smell test. This whole Russia maybe they did. If they did it, they're the dumbest spies in the world ever. If that's how they did it, they decided to do it now and do it in a way that can be immediately traced back to them. They're the worst and the dumbest spies in the world. So I'll just say that's what I think about it. So again, to me, this sounds like propaganda. What does it sound like to both of you? You both have masters.
Yes, it sounds like propaganda. What's the question?
But the question is, do you challenge the veracity of these reports that are saying, and now they're going to kick RT out?
Yeah.
So this is again. So this sounds like the deep state and the establishment have figured out how to silence the left over Russia. Mm-hmm. So they're getting rid of lefty news sites. They're deranking.
Yeah,
they're doing what they're doing to us on YouTube, and so now they're getting rid of RT over this. And they've all, so this isn't about free, open press or liberal use of press. This is not any of that. This is about how to silence dissenting voices on the left and the right.
Yeah, there's still a ton of unanswered questions. This is another example of shooting first and asking later,
yes,
or maybe not even asking. And yes, even if this does end up being the case, some of these reactions make zero sense. What does RT have to do with this?
Let's be
that
logical.
Makes zero sense.
About that whole point, I want to have access to see what other countries are producing as news.
Yes.
What is nefarious about that?
That's right.
Aren't I allowed to see?
No, information's bad. That's what that is. That's that. Oh, you can't be allowed to have this book. This is Fahrenheit 451. Mm-hmm. You can't be allowed to have these ideas. Those RT ideas are going to ruin you.
They're offensive.
Yeah.
They're insulting. You. Yeah. Don't read about it.
Yeah.
And you know what, Jimmy? I have to say this. I don't think I really watched a lot of RT. But
I don't even know where RT is on my cable channel.
But doesn't it make you want to tune into RT?
Well, it does, but they're going to turn it off. But do you know where RT is on your cable channel, Ron?
I do, but that's because my roommate watches it like 24/7.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he's really into RT. So,
okay.
So it's always pre-programmed.
So let me know what you think about this. We'll see. I'm going to wait for the evidence to come out before I make a decision on if Russia did this or not. Maybe Russia did do it. But let's wait for an investigation that's credible, and then we'll then make our decision then. But what a lot of people want you to do now is, now we got to ramp up right now. We got to do something before we have an investigation that's credible. And that leads to things like the Iraq War.
You know what? I just want to add the whole idea of, I'm hearing a lot of shit talk about Russia. Isn't it weird? I never, and you tell me if you ever hear anything about Saudi Arabia.
Never.
Do you?
Never. No, you don't hear anything about Saudi Arabia.
Why is that?
Because they're because we're in bed with them for money. That's right. That's why. Okay, please make sure. I don't know. So if you think you can get this. You can't get this show anywhere else, all right? So please make sure you support this show if you can. Make sure you're subscribed. Come see us at a live show. March 26th is our next live show in Austin. And then we have one March 30th right here in Burbank, California. And if you can become a patron member to help support the show, but more importantly, even make sure you're subscribed to the show, because they're unsubscribing people, even if you think you are. Just check. Only takes a second. Check. Make sure you subscribe. And then click that bell so they send you a notification when we drop a video. Thanks for your support. And we're on Steam It, by the way. We're steaming it right now.